What's up, YouTube? Welcome back, Seekers, man. You guys know what we do here on this channel, man. We break down scary, creepy videos, man, from TikTok videos to IG Reels to YouTube videos. Anything and everything you can find right here on this channel. Thank you guys, man, who's been tapping in with us, man, and subbing up to the channel. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, tell me in the comments, man, do you guys like this new format I'm reacting to? I really like it. Like I said, no more extra space on the screen. Y'all get the full thing like it's a movie, bro. So found this video for you guys today, man. Let's check it out.
A man has just been found innocent after spending a staggering 48 years in prison for a murder he did not commit, making it the longest known wrongful sentence in US history. Glenn Simmons, who is now 71, was arrested at just 22 years old alongside a co-defendant for the murder of a liquor store clerk during a robbery in Oklahoma in 1974. A year later, Glenn was given the death penalty before it was later reduced to life, but it was only reduced because the death penalty law was ruled unconstitutional by the US Supreme Court. And what's even crazier is that he was given this sentence even though the only evidence against him was a testimony of a traumatized teenager who picked out several other black men in a previous police lineup. Glenn maintained his innocence for 48 years, saying that he wasn't even in the state at the time of the robbery. Fast forward to today, just a few days before Christmas, an Oklahoma judge issued an official declaration of innocence. Since his release, it's not clear if he's received any compensation yet, although wrongfully convicted people who serve time in Oklahoma are eligible for up to $175,000.
Yeah, my man needs to be compensated expeditiously, bro. If he didn't do that, man, then he said he spent 48 years, bro, in prison and jail. Could you guys imagine that for a crime you didn't commit? Just wrongful doing, bro. I couldn't even imagine that, man. My man, he needs his coins, bro. Simple.
Normal looking photos that have a disturbing backstory. This is former NBA player Mark Jackson's basketball card. In the background are the Menendez brothers. They're sitting courtside shortly after killing their parents and just before getting arrested. The 17-year-old who took this photo told his family members that he planned to hike the stairway to heaven. He texted multiple pictures before his disappearance, and shortly after, the family noticed a man in this photo. While this photo may seem like an ordinary picture of footprints in the sand, they actually belong to a 4-year-old little girl who shortly after this photo was taken, drowned in the ocean. The two brothers in this photo are at Sequoia National Park. This photo was taken moments before they were both struck by lightning and both shockingly survived. There was a tradition in Victorian England to take photos of dead people, often dressed in their best clothes, and pose as if they were taking a family portrait. If you look at this photo for long enough, you'll notice something is a little off about one of the children. The man who took this photo of his wife scuba diving off the Australian coast also managed to take a photo of Tina Watson, who was drowned by her husband that day in 2003.
Okay, the thing that got me was when they said to England how they dressed the kids up and they really passed away, bro, but they taking a picture like it's a family photo. I noticed something. My mother said that the last kid, it didn't look like he was even freaking conscious or something in that picture, bro. That's truly scary, man. Seekers, thoughts down below. What do you guys think is going on, man? Is there a darker story to that, bro? We're gonna have to look into that, man. You guys know we seek the truth. Is that the car? The trunk? What the hell
If your
is
baby
that?
starts acting like this, it may be warning you something's watching you. A woman uploaded a disturbing video caught by her Ring camera of a strange event with her baby. While alone in her house, she can see her footsteps coming from the living room. And while her baby's looking at someone or something in the other room, this happens.
She's looking at something.
What sounds like a child's voice can be heard coming from the living room. Shocked on what she's hearing, she tries to ignore it. But it wasn't until her backdoor motion detector went off that she would realize something wasn't right. After this, she looked all over her house, but couldn't find anyone. Could it be her baby was able to see someone or something she couldn't? Or is it just something else?
that baby picking up on some freaking weird energy, bro? Like I said, I definitely heard a kid's voice, man. I don't know if that's like if that was an edit or was that actually like a legit case of that baby seeing it sits or something there. Because you know how sometimes, man, like I said, kids and stuff, they can see things that adults they just can't pick up on, man. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Where is the sky? Just flashing lights.
Real Disney Ghost Stories sent in by you guys, part 1. These Disneyland cast members wish to remain anonymous, but here are some stories about the little girl who haunts California Adventure. When I worked in Disney California Adventure, we would sometimes see a little girl and she would show up in the bakery tour alone. And usually by the time we figured out she was alone, she's gone. We asked another cast in the bakery and they said she comes by every now and then and wanders all the way to Little Mermaid. Before Disney California Adventure was built, it was a parking lot and she was hit by a tram, and since then her ghost has haunted the area. It's funny because there's a pattern here. Another cast member wrote to me about this little girl as well in Disney California Adventure. First of all, he says that every land has some sort of ghost. Like every little land in Disneyland has something that haunts it, which is crazy. The ghost I experienced the most and will stay with me is the little girl in the Little Mermaid building. She also likes to walk around on the Grizzly Peak side. She even pulled my keys out of my pocket because I wouldn't respond to her while I was cleaning a restroom and she was pounding a stall door. What? That is so scary. Here's another ghost story about the same girl. Apparently her name is Jennifer. I work at the restaurant on Buena Vista Street in California Adventure. Jennifer is very well known by cast members. She likes to lock the women's restroom doors. She turns candlesticks on the walls upstairs. I've heard a faint scream in the hallway on the second floor. She's pulled my hair a couple times, and she has shown herself to our custodial at 3 a.m. Have you ever had an encounter with this little girl spirit at Disney California Adventure? Let me know in the comments, and keep sending me more Disney ghost stories.
You have to.
That's actually insane, bro. It's because, like I said, there were 3 people and they wanted to remain anonymous, man. But it's like their stories, they had like some similarities, man, with the ghost girls, bro. And the head that they said there's like a ghost for each area with Disney, man, because I guess you know Disney, they got some bones in the closet. I guess they want to keep hidden. They don't want the public to know, man. What do you guys think?
To hear this, imaginary friends might not be so imaginary. A 15-year-old girl named Madison said that when she was 3, she had an imaginary friend named Kellum. Her mom, Kelly, didn't think much of it, but gradually, Kellum started to feel less and less imaginary. Madison said that Kellum was a tall man in his 40s that was always wearing work clothes. One day, Kelly caught Madison singing an old song called Daisy Bell, and when she asked her where she learned it from, Madison said that Kellum had taught it to her. Madison's mom, Kelly, still wasn't spooked though, but things started to get creepier and creepier. Madison said that at first, her imaginary friend Kellum was very nice, but as time passed, he wasn't so nice anymore. She said that he would start to yell at her, tap on her windows, and keep her up all night. He would always want to talk and play and would just never let her go to sleep. She became very afraid of Kellum, and she told her mom that his face just doesn't look the same anymore. She said that he started to look sick and his face got skinnier and his eyes became sunken in. All of this was very scary to her, but one night things escalated to a whole new level. Madison said that one night Kellum was being very aggressive and he walked up to her and grabbed her by the wrist. She screamed for her mom and Kelly came and picked up her daughter. The windows in Madison's room were blowing like there was a big gust of wind, but to Kelly's surprise, the windows were closed. Kelly eventually contacted her father, who was a pastor. He anointed the house with crosses of oil and Kellum never came back. But the story doesn't end there. Later on, Kelly did a property search and found out that the house adjacent to theirs was bought in 1941 by a man named Callum Beasley.
Was that based off like a movie or story or something, or was that an actual true story? Because you saw the images in the background, man. I don't know if that was like a movie or something, or a show. The way he was explaining it, man. Like I said, you guys know these movies and shows, bro, it's based off of real life events, man. It sounded like it could be like a true story. Some creepy stuff, man. Kids and their imaginary friends. Keep your eye on that. that?
Iron Eyes Geese presents Light Out. Everybody.
Three famous celebrities that are now ghosts. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was found dead on August 4th, 1962, and some say she still haunts the Brentwood home where her body was found. There are claims of Marilyn being seen in the mirrors of the home. Still checking out her beauty, I guess. Lucille Ball. Known for her beloved character in I Love Lucy, the mansion where Lucille Ball took her last breath is believed to be haunted. Unexplained noises and even furniture being moved on its own has been reported. She apparently also likes to visit the studio where I Love Lucy was filmed. Walt Disney. Walt Disney is believed to be one of the many ghosts that haunt Disneyland. There is even video of what some believe to be Walt's ghost walking along one of the pathways around Disneyland. Follow or subscribe for more.
Guys, and that makes sense because it connects back to the stories that we heard earlier, bro. Like I said, man, when we watch these videos together, man, we learn new information. They said there was like ghosts that freaking they're all over parts of Disney, bro. And it's like it's freaking adding up, man. That story, I know they're not even related to each other, but they freaking just connected right before our eyes, man. Crazy, bro.
The NBA player who was just arrested for unaliving a woman just made a shocking confession, and the details left me speechless. Former G League player Chance Comanche reportedly admitted to luring a woman to her death in Las Vegas under the pretense of a meetup for kinky. Comanche reportedly told investigators he conspired with 19-year-old Sha'Carri Herndon, who he met on a dating app and since has broken up with. The two came together to come up with a twisted plan to lure Rogers. Now, just a warning before I get into this, these details are graphic. Comanche allegedly texted in a group chat, "I could just snap her neck or strangle the blank." He even shared a coffin emoji with his alleged accomplice. Comanche told police that he met with Herndon after a road game in Vegas to carry out their plan. This was while he was playing for the Stockton Kings. So he and Herndon had come up with a plan to lure Rogers away from her friends and unalive her. Comanche said he scheduled a meeting with Rogers and was trying to convince investigators that this was all under Sha'Carri's plan. He tried to lure her, saying that he was going to pay for intercourse. Rogers came and was under the belief that she was getting $1,000, and she allowed him to zip tie her hands. Comanche said that he then used an HDMI cord to choke the victim. Then the pair disposed of her body in a ditch, concealing it beneath rocks. Comanche later was the one who actually guided investigators to find her, and they both were arrested on Wednesday. This is a terribly tragic story. I'll keep you guys updated on how this goes. But make sure you guys stay safe out there and tell your friends.
Sum up.
Man had his whole future ahead of him, bro. He was in the NBA and G League, granted, bro, but it looks like he had a bright future ahead of him, man. He just did that to lure her and just to freaking take her out like that, man. Like I said, bro, this world, man, is evil, bro. And here, like they said, that he had an accomplice too, like him and that girl, they was planning to do that. Cold world, bro. You world out here, man. Be safe, y'all. You never know what can happen.
Apocalyptic scenes are coming out of Iceland right now after the volcano, which everyone feared would erupt, finally has. I mean, just look at that shit. Looks like the rock is about to jump out of that thing. The volcano finally erupted after weeks of intense earthquake activity, and a further 4,000 people have been evacuated from the small fishing town of Grindavik. Videos posted on social media show lava bursting from the 3.5-kilometer crack at a rate of about 200 cubic meters per second. Half of the sky in the direction of the town was lit up red from the eruption, and smoke could be seen billowing into the air. Now, luckily, unlike the catastrophe in 2010, there are no disruptions to flights to and from Iceland, and international flight corridors remain open. And it's not just that, but because Iceland did so well preparing for this event, not one single casualty has been reported.
Like if it was a freaking ring of fire, bro. Shit of a damn horror movie, man. But they freaking prepare, bro. Like I said, preparation is one of the best things you could do. And like I said, nobody freaking lost their lives off that, man. That's a miracle if you think about it, bro. That big of an eruption, nobody freaking passed away. Is it signaling or something?
have just leaked that Ye is planning to...
Freaking looks, and you know, even those prosthetics, man, I freaking, that's nightmare fuel, bro. Especially that freaking mask with the teeth when you take that down. Whew. It's freaking bone chilling, bro. I couldn't wear something like that, man. Me personally.
to build a city nearly 4 times the size of Paris in none other than the Middle East. In a now deleted listing on his website, a graphic reads, Rome, 100,000 acre V1 city. Recruiting project managers, engineers, architects, contractors, and builders. If you're thinking, there's no way he could pull it off. Well, what makes it interesting is that in 2020, Ye already tried to build his own mini city in Wyoming, but his plans were quickly shut down by the state. But then recently, not only is he been spotted spending a load of time in Saudi Arabia, but in a long rant at his listening party last weekend, he let it slip that he's been speaking with Mohammed bin Salman, aka the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and the main person behind all of the country's new projects and cities like The Line. Oh, and also the man who controls one of the largest public investment funds in the world, worth $700 billion. So yeah, doesn't look that impossible anymore. And then when you start to piece all of the other things together, like he wanted to run for president, he filed trademarks earlier this year for the word drone, which has classifications for everything that residents of a city would need, including clothing, electronics, cosmetics, toys, jewelry, restaurants, alcohol, building materials, medical equipment, metals, and even legal services. The question is, would you ever live in a city built by Ye or not?
Kanye trying to build a city, bro? You guys know the rants and stuff that he be going on, man. So do you guys think that's a good idea, bro? That guess he freaking has access to all that and he can build his own city, man? I wonder what the population would be like. I wonder how many people would actually flock to that city if Kanye actually built it, bro. Probably a large number as well as I would suspect. Interesting. Sound like a little shadow figure.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard will be freed from prison exactly 1 week from today.
She's already free, bro.
So Gypsy Rose was born in 1991, and she had a very, very overprotective mother named Dee Dee. While Gypsy was very young, Dee Dee told people that Gypsy was suffering from many different illnesses. These illnesses required Gypsy to do things like be in a wheelchair and eat her meals through a feeding tube, which essentially gave Dee Dee total control over everything in Gypsy's life. As time went on, Dee Dee would say that Gypsy had more and more things wrong with her, and she would constantly be taking Gypsy to the doctor and giving her medications that she did not need. Dee Dee also got doctors to perform multiple surgeries on Gypsy, and she would constantly shave Gypsy's head in order to sort of sell the lie that Gypsy was always very, very sick. Gypsy's constant illnesses caused people to feel very sorry for both her and her mother, and both Dee Dee and Gypsy would often receive sympathy and attention due to these false illnesses. Now, as Gypsy got older and older, her mother would still constantly lie about things like her age, her illnesses, and basically everything about Gypsy's life. She would also use these lies to get both her and Gypsy charity-sponsored things, such as visits to concerts and a trip to Disney World. Eventually, this was all too much for Gypsy, and she snapped. You see, Gypsy met a man online who she was not supposed to be talking to because her mother tried to have control over everything in Gypsy's life. After talking to the man for a bit, Gypsy told him the truth about everything that her mother had done, and Gypsy eventually convinced the man to end her mother, Dee Dee. And in June of 2015, that is exactly what this man did. You see, the man entered Dee Dee and Gypsy's house and ended Dee Dee while Gypsy covered her ears in the bathroom. Then Gypsy and the man returned to his home in Wisconsin, where they were eventually found by the police. Now, Gypsy took a plea deal for everything that happened with her mother, and she was only sentenced to 10 years in prison, but she'll be getting out early as she is getting out a week from today, and the man who carried out the act was sentenced to life in prison.
I didn't know about the freaking multiple surgeries, man. I heard about the story, but to hear that she actually had to have surgeries done on her, bro, and she was perfectly fine, I wonder, like, what did they mess with, bro? Because that could have messed her body up even more, man. That story, bro, like I said, when we watch these stories together, fellow seekers, man, You learn new information, bro. Just like that. That's why you gotta tap in with us, man.
Actor Vin Diesel has been accused of sexual assault in a really disturbing new court filing. Let's take a look at these allegations that are breaking right now.
Family?
So if you don't know who Vin Diesel is, he's the star of the Fast and Furious movies. He's a pretty famous Hollywood celebrity. Well, allegedly in fall of 2010, during the filming of the movie Fast 5, a former assistant of Vin's is claiming that he assaulted her. So according to the official filing, a woman named Asta was hired by Vin Diesel's company. The company is named One Race, and she was hired allegedly to do a lot of different things around the production. She would do a bunch of different things, like helping organize stuff for the production company, and she was also asked to go accompany Vin Diesel to company parties and places in public. So according to Asta, the woman who filed these charges, in September of 2010, she was tasked with waiting for Vin Diesel in his hotel room at the St. Regis. At the time, Vin Diesel was allegedly entertaining some hostesses from a club, and when these women left the hotel room, that's when allegedly Vin Diesel grabbed Asta's wrists and brought her over to his bed. Asta then claims that she escaped his locked wrist. She asked him if she could leave, and he then started to grope her, kiss her body, and just be creepy with his hands. Asta said that she felt like she just couldn't say no to her superior, but when he tried to pull down her undergarments, that's when she allegedly took off screaming down the hallway. According to the filing, keep in mind this is all just alleged right now, Vin Diesel then caught her, he pinned her up against a wall, placed her hand on his private parts, and he proceeded to pleasure himself. And according to this filing, that's when Asta, his assistant, closed her eyes and just let it happen because she was so afraid. So only a couple hours after this whole thing went down, Asta received a call from Vin Diesel's sister. She was the then president of the production company One Race. Her name's Samantha Vincent. And what did Samantha have to say to Asta? Well, she told her that she was fired after being on the job for less than 2 full weeks. So Asta signed an NDA, or non-disclosure agreement, when she accepted the initial position working for the production company, but thanks to an act in California called the Speak Out Act, she is able to come forward with these allegations, because this act basically states that you can't have an NDA for something like a sexual assault. So obviously this is very early on in the story, and this is a breaking story, so more details are going to emerge soon, but Vin Diesel has already come out and said he categorically denies all of these allegations, but we'll just see how this thing turns out with time.
What is it, man, with these freaking people in Hollywood, bro? It's like allegations are coming out the freaking woodworks, man. Like, they just can't keep their hands to themselves, bro. No means no. Like, what don't they get, bro? It's really simple, man. You would think Vin Diesel, bro, he talk, scared us all about freaking, family when all those memes come out. You think he wouldn't even be capable of doing something like this? Yeah, that was really freaking shocking.
Creepiest things kids have ever said. After her grandfather passed away, the family gathered at his home for a memorial. The 4-year-old grandson suddenly looked up and said, "Why is Grandpa sitting on the roof?" No one else saw anything, but he insisted. "He's waving and telling me it's a fun place up there." On Halloween night, a father asked his 3-year-old daughter about her costume. She was dressed as something he didn't recognize. When he asked who she was, she said, "I'm the girl who hides under your bed." While driving with her 5-year-old son, he unexpectedly murmured, "We should take a different route, Mom." Curious, she inquired why. He responded with an ominous, "Something bad is about to happen." Slightly unnerved and choosing to humor him, she diverted her course. Later, she learned of a devastating multi-car pileup on their original path precisely at the time they would have been there. As the family was moving into an old house, the 4-year-old son pointed at the wallpaper in his new room and said, "The boy in the walls is scared. He said they never found him." Later, while renovating, the family discovered a skeleton of a young boy in the walls of his bedroom. In a serene neighborhood, every night a woman's 3-year-old son would wave out the window before going to bed. When she asked who he was waving to, he mentioned, "The floating man with the lantern." Even more terrifying, the local legends say that the man with the lantern isn't really a man at all, but a ghostly father desperately searching every night for his lost child. A family was camping in the woods. As they sat around the fire, the 6-year-old daughter stared into the forest and whispered, "She's calling me." Her parents asked who she meant. The daughter replied, "The woman in white. She lost her children and says she needs me to help her find them." A family was watching old home videos. The 4-year-old stared intently at a clip of his great-grandfather, who had died before he was born. "Why is he on the TV?" the boy asked. "I just played with him in my room." A family adopted a stray dog. Their 5-year-old daughter often whispered to the dog. When asked what she was saying, she replied, "He's telling me about the time he watched over me, before he died, and before I came to you." As a mother was tucking her 5-year-old daughter into bed, the girl said, "I love this life, Mommy. The last one ended too soon." The mother, puzzled, asked what she meant. The girl responded, "The fire was so warm, but then it was very dark." A woman's 3-year-old nephew looked at her and said, "Last time I was the grown-up, and you were my little boy." When she asked him what he meant, he said, "Remember, the big wave took us." During a stormy night, a boy told his mother, "The man in the corner doesn't like thunder." When the mother asked which man, the boy pointed to an empty corner and said, "The one who's crying." At a family dinner, a 6-year-old suddenly said, "We should be nice to him because he's going to be with us for a long time." When asked who she was talking about, she replied, "The shadow man who follows Daddy."
What the hell? I think the one that got to me is when she talking about that little kid, how he said he could like see something in the wall, bro. Or the little boy was in the wall, if you're gonna tore it down. It was right there, man. Like I said previously, man. Sometimes the kids, they can just sense things and see things that we can't pick up or we can't detect, bro. YouTube, that's it, man, for this video for you guys today, man. Thank you guys. If you stayed with me to the end, thank you guys, thank you Seekers for supporting the channel, man. Like I said, guys, we're trying to grow our community, find fellow Seekers, man. So hit that like button, subscribe, also hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I drop these videos. Tell me, like I said, in the comment section down below, guys, do you guys like this new style that I'm reacting to, man? I'm trying to also cut down like my you know, comments, man, because one of my comments said I was kind of talking too much, so I'm trying to cut down on that, man. Just give you guys the best videos going on forward. You guys gonna catch you in the next one. Peace, YouTube.